Farrell, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks for having me, Ben.
I like your hair, man. I wish I could get that hair going.
Thanks, man. I got a haircut yesterday just for the show.
I love it. I love it. Um, Dude, I'm excited to unpack more about what you're doing
Yeah,
because you're gaining some serious momentum. I know that you're on track for 30 deals this year, right?
yeah,
It's pretty serious.
yeah. It's been a great year, man. It was just a great launch. It was a great start to the year.
What were you expecting? Like, you're on track for 30. Did you forecast for 30 deals in the first 12
I
months?
forecasted for 40, but
Okay.
because of the market and the current interest rate increases and all that stuff, it's a very patchy market. But we were able to at least get 30, which is really good. And I've achieved a lot of things. And plus, I went away for 1 month, which I was able to go and see my grandparents in Ethiopia, which was a great experience as well.
Ethiopian food's fucking delicious.
It is, it's amazing, man. You should come to Brisbane.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find a good joint in Byron. So I was actually speaking to some people 3 days ago around like, hey, who knows a good
In Byron
Ethiopian
Bay, I've
joint?
never heard of. I don't think there's an Ethiopian restaurant there, is there?
I don't know. That's why, yeah, I was asking, but I'm confident they've got one here. So
Okay.
I'll track it down. I'll let you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's amazing.
So that's ambitious, though. I mean, I think for forecasting 40 deals in your first year, I think that's strong, like
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
goal. And I think to be even coming in at 30, I think is really good.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta set really high goals. I mean, next year I got even bigger goals to achieve. And even though it was my first full year of being a buyer's agent, I just betted on myself and took that leap of faith. And I knew I could do it, and I trusted in myself and believed in myself.
You obviously came from a corporate background. I mean, you're dressing quite corporate. I like it. You're making me look very underdressed right now.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I know you had a research analyst background. Like, did you envisage ever becoming like an entrepreneur, your own boss?
100%, 100%. But I thought about becoming a buyer's agent, owning my own business. Let's say 3 or 5 years down the track. But because I had a great mentor around me, actually my lawyer and that is my great referral partner, he told me just why don't you start next year, and he set me up and starting with the accountings and all that stuff, with the setting up my company, trust and everything. And then I was like, you know what, let me do it. I mean, what do I have to lose? And now that I've
Yeah,
started my business, I wish I started earlier actually.
I know it gets like that. Like, looking back in retrospect, you're like,
Yeah,
why didn't this happen? But I guess it's all a learning curve, right?
exactly. Yeah, and it's the best decision I've ever made. It's such a good decision.
Why did you decide to become a vice agent?
So look, I've been in real estate for 11 years, Ben. I started as property management. I did my bachelor's in property economics. I was a senior research analyst, and a lot of people came to me for property advice. They said, where should I buy? Because I was in analytics, I did market updates and all that stuff. So my name was already out there in regards to the property industry. And people asked me for advice, and I was like, I need to turn this into a business because a lot of people come to me and I'm being giving out free advice for nothing, and I've every weekend whilst I was in my corporate career, I've been going to inspections, creating relationships with agents, and they all know me. Some of them actually my friends, and they went to uni together and they were real estate agents. So I've already built my relationship with agents, and then just me starting my own business, being a buyer's agent, was a no-brainer, and I knew that's what I was called to do.
You know, it's usually a really clear sign of a buyer's agent, or even someone who just starts to get that calling to become one when people come to you for advice or looking for help, because it's a clear indicative sign that, hey, that they're already um, perceiving you as an expert in that field, hence why they're coming to you for advice, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I've got a pretty good resume, and even our current clients are quite happy to go with me because of the trust they have in me.
So what do you, because your company's called A1, right?
A1 property, yeah.
A1 Property. You're based in Brisbane.
Yeah.
So you're buying IPs, you are buying owner rock. What are you doing?
Half half. I like to focus on investors and owner occupiers. From an investor side, there it's because I'm a numbers driven person and I love working with investors because it's all about numbers. There's no emotion involved. Had a client that I'm buying his third property this year, and he's based in Sydney, and he just loves me, and he refers a lot of clients to me as well from Sydney, and because I've created so much equity for him, from start of the year, he just wants to keep going and going, and he sees value in the industry. From the owner occupier perspective, there's a lot of emotion involved. I understand, but it's just it's a great feeling. Even the other day when we put the salt sticker on for our owner occupier clients, I just told myself that I have the best job in the world, man. Like I'm helping people achieve their property dreams, and it's great to see our clients happy when they receive the keys and put the sold sticker on. It's a very rewarding job.
The client that you mentioned earlier that you bought three properties for, who you
Yeah.
helped manufacture a lot of equity. So is that a referral partner of yours as well?
No, he's just a client that reached out to me from social media. We connected, and yeah, he's become a repeat client. And it was such a repeat clients are the best clients because then once you do a great job, they keep trusting you, and you do a great job for them. And me being a numbers man, it's just if the numbers stack up. And he was a risk taker, and he liked to execute fast. So I love working with people like that.
The first property he bought through you, was that the first property he'd ever bought before?
He had an off the plan apartment in Sydney, which is doing really well. Actually, he bought it in 2020, and he had some equity to release. And he literally said, "Hey, I want to get into Brisbane because he sees the Olympics coming, the interstate migration infrastructure. So he's so valuing Brisbane." And that was through one of my social posts that I did. And yeah, he reached out to me, and then yeah, it was just it went on from there.
And do you feel that he, obviously based on the journey that you've taken that client on over the course of buying those three properties, and it seems like you've helped manufacture a lot of equity, do you
Yep,
feel like he believed that was like a feasible outcome
hundred
that you
percent.
got?
100%. I mean, I kept on giving him appraisals and valuations on his current assets that he has, and even from his banks, they came back to him with they grew up in they went up in value, and then he knew that he made the right decision with me. And plus, I told him from the start, from comparable sales of what we're paying under market value, the yield you're getting, and he was getting very comfortable, and he knew that he was in good hands.
Yeah. So I guess, but like when he started with you, do you think at the beginning of that journey, like let's just say, um, like do you mind sharing how much equity
Yeah, I'd say from start of the year, he's made at least $150,000 in equity.
okay. So do you feel like when you started to work with him on that first property, he believed that by the end of the three properties this year, he'd have 150 grand in equity?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Because I kept on updating him, and he saw it from his bank valuations. And it was at ease for him to trust me. And he was in Sydney. He didn't have time to come here and look at the properties. He didn't have time. He was a very time poor person as well. He was very
Mm,
cash rich. He just wanted to deploy his money into assets.
nice. Where are most of your clients coming from?
Sydney and Melbourne,
Yeah.
local buyers, and also expats. A lot of our clients actually from Hong Kong as well.
Okay.
I hired another buyer's agent to work with him. His name is Andrew Han. He's a gun. He was an ex real estate agent, and because he already knows the process and he's got really good sales techniques and all that stuff, he's been killing it.
He's been doing well, and he's Brisbane based.
Yeah, he's Brisbane based.
And so his role, is he focusing on owner rocks, or is he helping with
Owner
investment as
Ox
well?
actually, a lot of our owner Ox are expats as well, living in Hong Kong, and they just see opportunity in Brisbane market, and then yeah, it's just cash buyers all ready to go.
Are you buying outside of Queensland?
No, no, not yet.
No. And are you doing any commercial, or are you sticking to resi?
Sticking to resi, just I'd rather stick to something that that's my bread and butter, something that I know. But I still know about commercial and industrial and all that. But I would rather stick to residential because it's nice and easy, quick transaction. Everyone needs a roof over their head. But eventually, we could probably branch out to commercial as well.
Looking back at the first client you signed up, how did you find that client, and how was that first
Well,
experience with that client?
yeah. It was amazing. It was actually a referral from my lawyer. He said, "Hey, look, he's a client that's looking. He lives in Harvey Bay. He's a Nigerian doctor. He's got multiple medical practices, and he just wants to move to Brisbane. And he had a really good budget to buy a block of land. And then yeah, and he signed up. The fee was not an issue for him. And then yeah, I just went to hunt for those properties, and it was a tough market as well because land is hard to find, especially within inner city Brisbane. And I got him a great price. The agent won at 1.8, and through good negotiation and a bit of the help from the RBA's interest rate increases, I got it for 1.4. So my client was very happy.
Interesting. The clients that are coming to you, are they typically coming to you, like you mentioned social, but are they typically coming via referral?
Yeah, referral has been huge. I mean, when I first started, I was marketing like crazy, social media, putting reels and all that stuff, which was great. A lot of my clients come from social media, but then referral has been very, very strong as well. That's what's kept me busy at the moment.
So when those referrals come to you, I mean, are they sold on the concept in engaging a buyer's agent, or are you feeling like you're still
100%.
having to educate?
100%. Can I tell you, I have literally not sold the buyer's agent role to anyone. They just say, "Hey, I need a property, help me." That's it.
When they say help me, like where do you feel like they're struggling? Is there like a
Time
commonality
poor.
that you're seeing?
Time
Time poor.
poor. Yeah, so time poor. I have a client who lives at the Gold Coast and he's buying in Brisbane. He literally doesn't have time to drive up and have a look at the properties, even to inspect them. That's how busy he is. He's got a family, he's got a full-time job. On weekends, he's busy, but he's got cash and he wants to invest that. So he sees the value
Mm.
in a buyer's agent. And I stay in touch with him every day. I send him off markets. And speaking of that, we're going to close a deal with him today. So he's just working from home. He's just working from his workplace office. We just stay in touch on WhatsApp.
What's it like buying in Brisbane? I mean, I'm hearing that it's super competitive. It's
Yeah,
not
very
easy.
competitive. Yeah, it's very competitive. The good stuff that sells is literally ready properties, which is your brand new homes or renovated properties, because no one wants to build. And the Olympics as well. There's a massive FOMO here in Brisbane. Everyone just wants to get in, and they just pay crazy prices as well. And we have massive interstate migration here in Brisbane, which is supported by infrastructure jobs as well. Our unemployment is actually has improved in Queensland, which is definitely a great clear sign.
How important are real estate agent relationships? Do you feel in terms of operating as a buyer's agent? How important do you think those relationships
Very,
are?
very important. Like, can I tell you, like, it's so important to the point where we hang out. Like the other 2 weeks ago, they invited me to one of their birthdays. Being friends and being in a relationship, being in having a good connection with sales agents is important because that's where your stock comes from,
Mm.
and they're the first person to call you if they have something off market or if a contract crashes and all that stuff. So we've built a very good relationship with agents on the south side of Brisbane and on the Gold Coast. And yeah, we get a lot of off-market properties through our databases, and it's been really amazing.
What happens when a client or like a prospective client comes to you and they only want off markets? Like, is that a red flag for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had that before, but if I do come from that, I would just say, hey, look, if I find something on the market, it's been on the market for 100 days and it's on a discount and it's on under market value, we take opportunity. If it's for sale, it's for sale. Doesn't matter where it is, off market or not off or on the market.
Mm. Shifting gears to retainers, do you find any of your prospective clients like have an issue when you let them know that there's a retainer involved?
Actually, for me, we don't charge a retainer, depending on the
Okay.
client, actually. If they have an objection on a retainer, we don't charge them, but we do make them sign the agreement, well, 12-week agreement, and then we just bet against ourselves on finding that property for them, and which we always do.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. So you don't
Yeah,
charge a
because
retainer. And then
retainers are a big objection, but depends on the client. I've charged clients for retainers, they've paid for it and all that.
in Brisbane, I mean, in Queensland, I hear that, a lot of buyers agents charge around that 2.5%, which is very different to New South Wales because New South Wales selling agents charge typically around 2, but they end up at like 1.6, 1.7. But I hear in, Queensland, a lot of these agents are charging 2.5. Are
Commission based
you commission?
for
Yeah.
for buyers agents or sales agents.
Well, selling agents, but I hear there's quite a few buyers agents that are charging 2.5%.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the big companies, they do charge 2.5 because of their overheads.
Yeah.
But we stick there between 2.2 for owner occ.
Okay. Owner rock, nice. And then for
Yeah,
investment, you just charge a fixed fee.
yeah, fixed fee, correct.
Fixed fee, nice. So, like, what's the plan for you, right? So you've kicked off really strong. You're on track, for 30. I mean, you've expanded your team, right? You've got that team member.
Hmm.
Are you looking to grow the team further for
Yeah,
24?
yeah, yeah. I want to grow the team. I want to, because I love educating. I love coaching as well
Yep.
of, the property market because I come from an analytical background. And also want to teach them about the buyer's agency industry of how great it is and how good it feels to represent buyers. I mean, Andrew, he came from a sales background and he loves being a buyer's agent because he feels like he's on the good side. He feels like he's like with the good guys, and it feels great representing buyers because buyers have never been represented. So I do want to grow a team. I did interview another sales agent 2 weeks ago who might be starting early next year.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, yeah, especially if you're coming from the sell side where you're not really seen as the good guy and you jump to the buy side, it's probably very refreshing.
Yeah, it is very refreshing, and there's no objections around it. We are representing you. It's kind of like going to court with a lawyer.
With your background in research, your clients must get a really good, um, I guess, data information, just knowledge base around, I guess, the decisions that you're coming to, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, every time I talk about the property we're buying, I'm talking about yields, growth, land to asset ratio, all that stuff. And I'm also educating along the way as well if they have any questions. So, you know, if I wouldn't buy the property for myself, I wouldn't buy it for my clients. So they see that they're being looked after.
Curious to know this. A lot of your clients, are they coming from an African background?
No, it's very diverse.
Okay.
With the African background, it's mainly, I'd say, Nigerian doctors.
Oh wow.
I've bought at least 5 or 6 doctors for Nigerian doctors, and those guys are very wealthy, and most of them are cash as well because they're in a health medical clinic,
Okay.
medic the health industry, and they have their own clinics and all that stuff. So they see value in real estate and they love real estate.
Interesting. Nigerian doctors. Yeah, I mean, a lot of those medical doctors, they're very cash rich, asset poor, right?
Yeah, 100%, and they love buying assets at the moment, cash, and banks love them as well because it's a medical industry. There's a lot of
Yeah.
incentive and a lot of incentive for them as well.
What does a typical day look like for you?
We share an office with our lawyers, so we go there once a week, which is in the city, and it's a great way for us to actually connect with them as well and make sure that our contracts are in place. But majority we work from home, and we do a lot of inspections as well. So today I'll be working from home. I got 2 inspections in the afternoon, doing a lot of callbacks to agents and negotiating. So we're kind of like mobile agents. We can work from anywhere.
Nice, nice. And you obviously, I guess, you're prospecting as well throughout the day.
Yeah, yeah, prospecting is a must. I've got a board at home as well for my hot leads and our current clients. We have 15 buyers at the moment in our books, between Andrew and I, and I have clients ready to go in January as well. So making sure we're prospecting and making sure that we're nurturing our clients. I have a client I've been nurturing for a year, and he finally, he signed.
And when you say you're nurturing for a year, was there what was the reason why it was it was taking so long?
So for him, he is actually a doctor from Penrith, and he's building a hospital here in Brisbane, and he just needs to make sure that his DA is approved from council that the hospital is going to be completed. So I think his DA is almost done, and yeah, he just signed the contract. He's going to be moving into Brisbane, so he wants a house.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. It's fascinating, hey, when you get into this real estate industry around all the diverse
Yeah, it's
people that you
ridiculous.
meet,
And
like
you
all the
learn a lot from them.
personalities.
Yeah, and the thing is, those personalities, though, especially the we like to focus on sophisticated clients, I'd say, because we
Okay.
learn a lot from them as well, and they see the value in a buyer's agent as well. We're happy to help any other buyers as well, but the sophisticated clients see the value and they execute straight away. If I
Yeah.
tell them, if I tell them, property is, 1 million will get it done because of this is the yield, this is the growth, this is the projections. They just ask where to sign.
Interesting. Where they just want to listen to advice and move forward,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And I give them the right advice, supported by reports, comparable sales, whether it's valuation reports, appraisals, all that stuff, right? So making sure that, I'm holding their hand throughout the way.
Do you do much like auction bidding only or negotiation only as a service
No,
offering?
none of that. It's full service,
Full service. Do you
full
find like
service.
anyone you're getting in front of is um, looking for just help at auction or just for
No,
negotiation?
not really. They literally come for the full service. I've learned since the start of the year, I've said yes to everyone, Ben. I've been saying yes to everyone. Now I'm at a point where sometimes I say no to some people because I know that they're going to be tire kickers or they want to waste my time. They have objections on the fee and all that stuff. Because if I say yes to someone that I want to sign the agreement, I'm neglecting my other clients, right? So I only take on serious people.
And when you say tie kickers and you only want to work with serious people, like what does that look like for you? Like what does a tie kicker look like versus someone who's serious? Because I'm assuming the tie kicker, they're prepared to sign an agreement, aren't they? Because then they're not.
They have objections. They just don't want the exclusive agreement. That's one thing.
Okay.
That's the objection they have, and they're trying to get free advice, especially from social media. They'll ask where to buy.
Okay.
How much should I buy for this property? They'll send me a link. I'm like, just buy it, dude.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, there's a lot
Right.
of people
So
looking for free information, eh?
yeah, exactly. I mean, if you can do it yourself, do it. But if you need a buyer's agent, we're here to help.
Pharrell, good to have you on here, man. And
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ben. And thanks for the
great to.
encouragement and thanks for the articles you've done for me. And I'd say you played a big role in this journey, actually, from signing up to the Institute last year and, getting started. And James has been supportive, your whole team. It's been a great journey and it's the best investment I've done.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, I didn't even know you signed up last year. I thought you maybe 2 years ago. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
I think 2 years maybe, but yeah, it's
Two
just, I
years.
think it was
Okay.
last year, but I was just preparing and you have very
Yeah.
good golden nuggets in there and I'm here because of that.
Thanks, brother. Yeah. Well, listen, wishing you all the best for 24, and um, yeah, I'm excited to see your team grow and just see what the output that you deliver. Because man, you
Yeah,
are seems like you're unstoppable at the moment.
thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.